I'm inviting you to check your meditation posture. Whether you're sitting on the floor or in a chair, please sit comfortably. Sit in a way that's upright. If you're sitting on a chair, if you can, don't lean too much into the chair. With your spine stretched elegantly, your chest open, and turn your attention inward. Turn your attention inward into your body, into your breath. And why don't you allow yourself to take 3 very deep breaths? Feel free to lift your shoulders. Feel free to give voice to your out breath. And with each out breath, let go of whatever still might be stopping you from being fully present. As much as it is possible for you, really concentrate on your breathing. Follow your breathing deep into the middle, into the center of your experience. And as much as you can, rest. Allow yourself to become very simple, to just feel your body and sense your breathing. And of course, there will be thinking. That's fine. However, if your thinking carries you away from your wonderful meditation, then please become aware of your thinking. And then you can pause without judging anything. Simply return to sensing your breath, sensing your body, and to rest in the immediate present of your experience. May I remind you that sensing your body means every split second you are being touched. Like right now, your ear is being touched by this voice. And even if your eyes are closed, you see something. Color, dim light. Your nose is touched by the specific smell right there where you're sitting right now. And your tongue, your mouth is touched by a specific taste. Can you be aware of all this? The entire surface of your body is being touched by warmth or coolness. Your body is touched by whatever you're sitting on. If your feet are on the ground, your feet are touched by the floor. That's what it means to sense your body. Sense how you're being touched. And how the way you're being touched changes all the time. So where is the fixed body? And now, as a second step, I'm inviting you on the one hand to go really deep with your breath. It doesn't mean to breathe deeply. It simply means to be really concentrated on the process of breathing and on resting your mind in the process of breathing. And at the same time, allow your mind to become wide, open, and awake. Be open to all the subtle or not so subtle sounds that appear in your mind. And at the same time, please continue to rest in your breath and sink deep into the experience of this very moment. Now allow me to ask once again, whatever it is you're hearing right now, where does the sound end? Where do you begin? Just rest and see. Don't think too much about it. Just breathing, sensing your body and allowing your embodied mind to become wide and open and awake. And rest in all of that. And with your wisdom mind, just look. Where does this voice end? And where do you begin? So thank you very much for being so kind as to joining me in this meditation. Now I say this kind of meditation is something that I deduct from a story about the awakening of a wonderful practitioner in the past. There are many stories in Zen where people who don't practice Zen meet a Zen person and there is some kind of exchange. Often it's a verbal exchange, and they wake up. And I think these stories can be a great inspiration for us It can be a great inspiration for us if we don't seek the same experience, because we are all different. But there are stories about the fact that we humans can be free and really enjoy our life without suppressing the fact that life is difficult and challenging and can be full of suffering. So roughly speaking, 2,500 years ago, there lived a wonderful practitioner in India. His name was Bahiya. I don't know what he practiced. I also think we don't know what he practiced. But as you know, India still today is a center, a hub for wonderful spiritual practices. But he was definitely not a Buddhist practitioner. He was not practicing Buddhism. And he was very open to looking at his own experience, and he saw that maybe something was missing. And somebody suggested to him, okay, in the original story, which can be found in the Theravadan scripts, the teachings of early Buddhism, it was a little goddess who appeared in his dream and said, if you want to find this little thing that you're missing, there's only one way. You have to take a long way and meet Shakyamuni Buddha and his tribe of practitioners. It was really a long way because Shakyamuni Buddha basically lived and practiced and taught in northern India, already the foothills of the Himalayas. And Bahiya lived around present-day Mumbai. So really far. And the only way to travel for him was to walk. Must have taken a long time. Maybe like if I wanted to meet a great teacher, I had to walk from Berlin to Madrid, for example. And he finally arrived and met the Buddha, who was in a city begging for alms, collecting food. And right away, Bahiya said, please teach me. And the Buddha said, well, it's maybe not the right time. I'm busy here. There are many people around. Lots of stuff happening here. Why don't you come later? But Bahiya insisted. He asked 3 times. And then Shakyamuni Buddha gave him the following teaching. He said, Bahiya, when for you in the scene, there's just the scene. When in the herd, there's just the herd. In the smelled, there's just the smelled. In the tasted, there's just the tasted. In the felt with the entire body, there's just this bodily sensation. And when in the cognized, there's just the cognized. When in the thinking, there's just the thinking. Then Bahiya, there is no here, no there, and no in between. And when for you, Bahiya, there's no here, no there, and no in between, that, exactly that, is the end of suffering. So as these stories go, upon hearing these words, Bahiya woke up to ultimate truth, to things as they are, and was liberated. Now, I hope this is kind of interesting for you. Many people already pointed out that this story of early Buddhism basically has the flavor of Zen practice, of Zen stories. And I think so too. And I think that's why I really like it. And today I thought, well, it's very interesting to keep the story of Bahiya in mind and think of a story that happened 1200 years later, toward the middle of the 7th century in China, where a young man who didn't practice at all because he needed all his time to take care of his old and poor mother, and he himself was very poor. He also was illiterate in a time when many people in China were able to write and read. But he basically collected dried wood in the forest and sold it in the market to survive. And these were the heydays of Buddhism in China. Many Buddhist practitioners. And he heard a Buddhist monk reciting the Diamond Sutra in the marketplace, in the market space. Diamond Sutra is very close to the Heart Sutra, which we just chanted with Cherki. And when the monk came to the line, bodhisattvas should practice and cultivate a mind that is not holding on to anything. He woke up. I would say he didn't just hear the words, but his entire psycho-physical, spiritual system changed, shifted according to the words. But that's just what I think. And then he entered a Zen monastery. Today, he's very much criticized because he left his old mother behind. And I agree, that was probably not so nice. But there's also cultural difference, right? So I'm not judging him. And he became the sixth ancestor of Zen, Huineng, very famous if people are interested in stories, in the story of Zen, in the tradition of Zen. So I would say this line, bodhisattvas, over and over I'm saying people like you, practitioners. Practitioners should cultivate a mind that's not holding on to anything. It's basically a different language, but it's saying the same thing as Shakyamuni Buddha saying to Bahiya, just rest in your breath, in your body, and in your sense consciousness. Just rest in the immediacy of this moment of experience. And then don't hold on to anything. And of course, Buddha didn't say this. He said, and when you really do this, there's no here, no there, and no in between. In the light of our study of the self and forgetting the self, I would say Buddha Shakyamuni taught what the Diamond Sutra teaches is if we really stabilize the mind, become really still, and then we look at our experience, we can really see there's no self here and no really existing, substantially existing other over there. There's no here and no there. And also, to be complete, there's also no in between. There's just the seamless experience of this. Free, completely free. But we have to practice it, and that's why I started with this very brief meditation. And I think, at least I tried, to give you meditation that translated Shakyamuni Buddha's teaching. And when we open up our mind, and when we can be really still and rest in it, we will see everything is there. Birds are in your mind, trees are mind, you yourself are mind, other people are mind. So there's no end to birth and death, as the Heart Sutra says. But also, because you let go of all grasping, especially the grasping of self and others as substantially existing, it's also true, what's a more mysterious statement in the Heart Sutra, that there is no birth and no death. And to see this, both, to see exactly this, is the end of suffering, I'm suggesting to you. So thank you very much for listening.